I did something to try to impress you and clean up the backdrop of my YouTube channel, and I kind of impressed myself at the same time. I got rid of a whole bunch of junk and sold a lot of things off, and I just saved all the favorite things that I love the most. So let's take a tour. Let's start off with a few storage solutions. Of course, everybody knows you can buy thread racks like this, right? But when I have too many threads for my rack, I'll store an extra one just sitting right on top. And that way I have plenty of room for all my colors. This is a cool tip. You can buy a basket and weave fabric through it to make it your own, but also store your fabric on end so you see every single one in the basket. If you store it on top of itself, you won't see what's underneath. So I like to store it on end, and then also, of course, I have this propped up so everyone can see it. You can store your favorite quilts that you love folded nicely on a shelf, but take them out, air them out often, switch them up, fold them in different directions so they don't get those harsh creases that everyone sees when they're hanging in a quilt show. You want to make sure that you're folding them all different directions and, lay them out on a bed once in a while so they can air out. Instead of storing hundreds of books on the bookshelf behind me so it looks like a giant storage unit, I've only picked a select few and I've stacked them from tallest to smallest. Actually, I can switch these two around, right? Anyway, I've stacked them from tallest to smallest, and I've paired them up with a few other beautiful items to make them just look like they were meant to be on that shelf for display. You can't see it from here, but when I stack fabrics way up high, it's a nice area to put fabrics up there. I actually have a piece of plastic on the very top fabric to prevent dust from settling all over the fabric. It's a hidden little tip that'll save your fabric from dust. Tuck things away in drawers that are a little bit messy to have out on the shelves. So I have a lot of extra thread in here, like stuff I don't use as much, like serger thread. And I might have things like Snag Magic in here hidden away because I sell it, but I don't necessarily want it out on the shelf for all to see. Now, my last tip for you guys before I get into a little bit more of a tour is to put things out that you love, that you've purchased, that you want to see on the day-to-day, because it will inspire you to make something out of it. If I tuck this away in a drawer because I love it and I'm afraid to cut it up, I will literally never use it. But if I keep it out, I'll keep saying to myself, oh, I really wanted to use that Amy Butler fabric, and then I'll be more likely to use it. So let's start with some of the threads. You can see down below, of course, that I have tons of thread storage. Some's for sale and some of it I just use all the time. But you won't see that on camera. You'll see this kind of thread on camera. I've got my Katona, which is 50 weight cotton threads by Madeira. I've got my 30 weights, which I love for top quilting. So I use this for piecing and quilting, and then I use the 30 weight for top quilting because it's just, oh, they're so beautiful, so many colors, and they're just a little heavier weight, so they really show up. So let's do all the thread first. I've got some long arm thread on here. I just have it on display because it's beautiful. I don't have a long arm yet, but one day I'll have a long arm. I have some Sensagreen over here. So this is a really cool old vintage rack that my aunt bought me at a garage sale. And it's really cool because it spins. So you can see, I can put my thread on there. I just love this thing. It's really neat. So on the left side is all Sensagreen. So this is the environmentally friendly thread. On the right, I have Lana. This is beautiful wool thread. So I keep that all on display. And then on top, I have some variegated quilting 50-weight cotton that I love. And then a little bit of Spectra. That's some of my favorite metallic threads. So after the threads, let's take a look at some of the fabric. So I've got fabric on top here. This is where I put my big bolts of fabric that I love, just from projects or bolts I've collected because I love the fabric. This is fabric for my Glorious and Free quilt. So I sell that fabric in kits. I have boxes and boxes of it because I sell a lot of it. So I keep some up there for a nice visual. Here I've got a whole cloth quilt project I did all folded up. A few Tula Pink pillows, a little baby blanket, a crazy quilt there, and of course some Ruby Star. I love Ruby Star fabric, so I have some Ruby Star there. Here's some little orange fabrics I love. Trying to keep on brand. My colors are blue and orange for Quilter on Fire. Let's see, here's some fabric that I bought recently in Japan, beautiful Japanese fabrics, some more here underneath this pin cushion. And then this is a whole bin of Japanese fabrics that I brought home from my recent trip. So I'll probably keep fabrics in there from recent trips. If I have a beautiful collection that I've found in my travels, that's where I'll keep it. This is more Japan fabric with a beautiful little iron that I absolutely love. When I saw that at a thrift shop, I was just like, okay, here we are. Let's take this home. Those are some little tiny stitch books that I love. These are Stitchy Bundles by Amy Butler. In heaven, meeting her for the first time recently at H&H. I've had her on the podcast in the past, so I was very excited to meet her. These are some meaningful quilts. I love to have these on display. So the top quilt is a color wash version of My Glorious and Free. The middle quilt is the second version I made with a new colorway of the Serenity Cruise quilt that I do on cruises sometimes. I've done it at Guilds a few times as well, taught it. And the last quilt on the bottom is a really meaningful quilt that was made by friends and my mother-in-law's friends. When she passed away 2 years ago, all of her friends in her guild made this beautiful quilt, and so I keep it here close at hand. It's really meaningful to me. Let's look at my little pincushion collection. So I have lots of pincushions, but these are my favorites. This is from Liberty, so Liberty of London. I bought that on one of my UK trips. This is a little pincushion I just made. I'll just pick it up for you so you can see it a little better. Just made this on my Japan trip and taught everybody how to make it. It was just a hand stitch project. I got that little soft green one at QuiltCon. Can't remember the name of the shop. If you remember it, put it in the comments. It was a really beautiful little shop. And then of course, Fish Museum and Circus. This is my favorite pincushion that I own. And yeah, it was made by Deborah at Fish Museum and Circus, and I finally got one at QuiltCon. These beautiful bowls I want to tell you about because they're made by my friend Dorothy in Saskatchewan. Sometimes when I'm working at a guild, teaching, speaking, judging, I'll stay with a quilter. And I stayed with Dorothy, and she had made these, and they were for sale at the show. I fell in love with them, and it was such a surprise because I bought them on the first day. I asked them to set them aside for me, and they said, well, won't you be excited because you happen to be staying with the quilter who made those? So that was delightful. So she also taught me how to do some crochet work as well. This is a little piece of art that I made, and it's actually called the Grump because this is the grumpiest bird, and they're taking over our community, our yards. The magpie is kind of a mean bird, and anyway, it's a beautiful bird, but it's taken over some of the other birds. All the little birds are flying away because of the big meanies. Okay, let's go up to the next shelf. So I've showed you this one and some of the fabrics, but I'd like to have some of my tools on display as well. These are some of my painting and janting tools. There's some tools up there as well. But let's take a look at some of the books. I love having books on display, and these are some of the ones of my favorite people. Some of them have been on the podcast, like Joe Cunningham and Joe Avery and Maria Schell. All these wonderful books are real inspiring and artful for me, so I just have them on my shelf, and I switch them up all the time. One last thing I'll show you up here, more tools and some old vintage spools in a beautiful glass jar. And way up at the top there is just some driftwood in a jar. That's my little touch of nature coming into play. So that's my new YouTube backdrop. I know it's super busy, but I love every little thing. I hope you like it too. Put your favorite thing in the comments below. Let me know if there was one little tidbit of this whole scenario that brought you joy. And I hope to bring you all kinds of new videos to come. We'll see you next time.